Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in my dining room. We had a really foggy start to the day. It was very frosty this morning, but now the sun is out and it's warming up quite a bit, and it's a great day to be a Friday. So we are here in the dining room to work on the next challenge from the Beautifully Organized in 52 Weeks card deck by Nikki Boyd. So you've guessed it, the next space we'll be working on is the dining room. So stay tuned for more, and welcome to my dining room. Welcome back to my home. If you've been following along with this fun challenge, every Friday we're working on a space in our home, and we're going by the guidelines listed on the card for each week from this card deck by Nikki Boyd. So we are moving on to week 12, and we are starting in the dining room. So Nikki talks about on the card pretending like you're going to be hosting a dinner. You could even invite a friend or a family member over for dinner in a couple of weeks. And take this next week to work on decluttering and getting rid of anything you know no longer want to keep in your dining room. You could also work on some deeper cleaning, so dusting the baseboards, dusting the furniture, wiping down surfaces, just doing a basic declutter and clean for this week in your dining room. And of course, as I work on things like this, I love to grab my favorite tool, my trusty timer, and I have about 20 minutes before I have to go pick up my daughter from school. Actually, less than that. I think I have about 15 minutes and then I have to leave. So I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes, and that way that will keep me on task to just move quickly. And let me show you the space I'm gonna be starting with here in the dining room. Typically, this is the view that you see when I show my dining room, and often I film by placing my camera on this little dining room table that sits by the window, and I've got my little spring tablecloth there because this is often where we have family dinners. It's a little bit smaller. We don't have to worry about spills on the furniture. It's a little bit more casual of a set, less formal of a set versus our formal dining table, which my husband's always worried about getting ketchup on these nice chairs. So we kind of save those for special occasions or when we entertain company and family. But what I very seldom show is this little corner, and this is just kind of an extra little table. It's a little antique table that my husband picked up. I think it was from somebody's workshop. You can tell like one of the table legs is wonky. I decided I think it was installed backwards. So I used to do, if we would have like a brunch, I would set my coffee station up here and have a little coffee spot for people to make their hot cup of coffee. And these days, my daughter has kind of taken it over as her little crafting area, because one day I said, if you want to paint, go paint on this table, because the table never was in good shape, so it doesn't matter what happens to it. But a lot of these projects have been sitting here since Christmas. That one's actually Halloween. It says trick or treat. So I'm going to work on getting some things cleaned up and out of this little corner that I know we no longer need. I need to ask her. She made this little game at school, and I don't think she wants to keep it, but I need to confirm that. But things like the wire, which she was using for a clay project, and the pliers and some of the glue sticks and the paint, all of that really could go back with our crafting supplies or back with our tools. So I'm gonna work on cleaning up this space, and depending on how much time I have, I'll move on to the next space. It took a while, but I eventually got all of the painting and craft supplies put together. Then I went through and took out all of our rechargeable batteries from these electric candles so that I could get those batteries recharged. I do like having them set up in the dining room and in the kitchen, and just having those candles automatically turn on each evening. It feels cozy around the house when that happens. And then the last thing I did was just collect up anything that I knew was trash, or I also had a small collection of things that I just needed to ask her about if we wanted to get rid of it or keep it or what we were doing. So it took a little bit, but it does feel really good getting all of this stuff finally dealt with. Finally, I grabbed my favorite Jordan Essentials Healthy Home Cleaning Spray, which uses essential oils to help clean. So it made this table smell really fresh. It got the last little bits of crumbs off the table, and then I could reset it for looking pretty and nice and presentable in our dining room. Okay, my timer went off just as I was finishing up, just kind of resetting the table, making it look presentable again. So now I'll go pick up my daughter. We can go through those last couple of little projects and see what she wants to do. And then meanwhile, week 12 is done. I hope that gave you some inspiration and motivation to work on sprucing up your dining room a little bit this week. I've got the card back in the card deck, so now we're ready to move on to week 13. And I'd love to hear in the comments down below if you are following along. Let me know how it goes with doing a little decluttering and deeper cleaning in your dining room this week. And you may be like me where you have to get rid of some piles of homework or paperwork, a basket of laundry, whatever it may be. Sometimes our dining room is like our kitchen and it just becomes an all-purpose catch-all where lots of projects happen for the family. So it is good to reset, sort of put things back where they belong and get your dining room back to the entertaining space that it can be. Thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button down below. I'll be back again for a planning video on Sunday and my Tiny Tidy Tuesday video on Tuesday. So there's lots of ways you can stay connected and keep working on our homes together. Thanks for joining me. Have a good one, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.